Have you heard yet about Future, the real estate conference by Appfolio? Appfolio has created an entire event dedicated to preparing your business for the future of technology and real estate. In San Diego on October 28th through 30th at Future, you will learn to seize the opportunity of AI and transform the performance of your business. Here's why you absolutely need to be there. Industry pioneers. Learn from 90 plus speakers, including heavyweights like Don Carpenter from Iron, Michael Akinwumi from the National Fair Housing Alliance, and Christy Fickert from RealLink. Miss out, and you'll be paying catch up all year. Epic keynotes. Hear from best-selling author Daniel Pink and three-time Olympic gold medalist Kerry Walsh Jennings. These are stories you won't want to miss. Cutting-edge sessions. Customize your agenda from over 45 sessions to dive into the latest AI trends, market forecasts, or growth strategies. There's something for everyone, including yours truly. I have the privilege of participating in 2 sessions on 2 panels, transforming the employee experience in an AI-enabled future and practical approaches for improving multifamily operations. And power networking. Connect with industry leaders and potential partners. This is the chance to build game-changing relationships. And live musical performances. See one of the most iconic R&B bands of all time, Boys II Men, perform at the breathtaking Rady Shell. Don't let your competition get ahead. Join us at Future and stay at the forefront of AI and real estate. Register now at futureconference.com. That's futureconference.com, FUTURECO. Welcome to another episode of the Multifamily Collective. Today I wanted to talk about starting small. And I want to preface this episode by saying that I read something the other day that I thought was absolutely spot on. It came from somebody in the industry, and the premise, really the underlying premise, or maybe the overarching premise, maybe the in-your-face premise, was that there is a lot of similar and same content coming out in the multifamily space. When you scroll through a LinkedIn feed, you just see a lot of repeats, a lot of spins on traditional information, a lot of noise. I think you could argue that there's a lot of noise in the streams these days. Now, I want to take the position. I think that is true, largely true. I want to take the position that I believe in my heart of hearts that there is this law of repetition that is necessary for people to get things imbued in their head. And if we're consistently challenging the status quo, then we never get to a point where we're exercising some kind of disciplined approach to business, disciplined approach to problem solving, disciplined approach to critical thinking, and so on and so forth. And so to the extent that you're constantly challenging, then I don't think you find this sort of staid opportunity to better yourself through repetition, through practice, right? And so this noise in the ecosystem today, if you would label it noise, this chatter, if you will, in the ecosystem today that seems to be on repeat, I think is necessary to some extent. I think it's necessary to hear messages over and over and over because everybody learns at a different pace. Some people pick things up very quickly. Some people get an idea and they've already iterated on it 10 times. And they've thought through the horizon and beyond the horizon, over the bend, around the corner, and they can see where this technology or this idea or this thing is going to go way off into the distance. There are other people that need to hear it 6 to 10, 14 to 30. I'm making up some numbers. They just need to hear it a lot before it imbues in their mind, before it becomes a regular practice, before it gets iterated on or innovated on for the future or into the future. So I think there is room for, and it's necessary to have various viewpoints out in the marketplace. I remember back in the day, let's say this was back in the I don't know, late 90s, maybe it was the early 2000s. Forgive me for not knowing exactly, but it was right when Twitter really became a thing. So maybe it was like 2006, 2007. There was an individual in the multifamily space that I would label as a firebrand. He was counter to every point that someone would make about whatever topic in the multifamily space. He had an alternative thought about it, and very much a firebrand, and very passionate about his positions in the marketplace, and very opposite of what most other people were doing out in the marketplace. And then we engage in these sort of arguments about portfolio size and portfolio makeup and so on and so forth. But at the end of the day, I believe that individual pushed a lot of aggressive thought out into the marketplace that made a lot of people better, at least better thinkers, potentially even better operators. And I think there is room for that individual today. We don't see that many people out there just pushing the bleeding edge of innovation in our space. Certainly on the tech side, there's a lot of innovation going on, but just simple rote routine disciplines, there's not a lot of pushing in the marketplace. There's a lot of noise in the parking lot in the marketplace today because of all the mechanisms that you can use to create media to put out into the stream, so to speak. And I think that there's room for those firebrands to make their way back into the space and start challenging this sort of status quo, challenging convention. There are other people who need to be in the stream listening to the tried and the true, and getting those disciplines down, getting those reps down, and putting those practices into place in their own life, in their own business life, and so on and so forth. And then there are others that are just, you know what? This is a space where they feel safe. They come to work. They put in an honest day's effort for an honest day's pay, and then they're not going to push the envelope. And they don't necessarily care about the bleeding edge. They may dip their toe in from time to time in the sort of status quo of things, but for the most part, potentially things outside of the work world are more important to them than the work world, right? So I love what this individual put out in the marketplace. I largely agree with it, but I also think that there is room for this steady stream of repackaged, repurposed, reimagined, but the same kind of content that goes out on a daily basis. And I'd love to hear what you think. Take care. We'll talk to you again soon.